Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Starfire Soccer Complex in Tukwila as we approach Game 2 of the 2015 Northwest Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Final Four. This one features two number one seeds, the number one seed out of the north, the Peninsula Pirates, and the number one seed out of the west, the Highline Thunderbirds. And the rain, which subsided towards the end of Game 1, has begun again, this time a little bit harder. The conditions getting tougher, and this game looks like it's going to be a fantastic matchup. Both of these teams held their opponents to a combined total of less than 10 goals all year. Peninsula giving up just 6 goals in 22 games. Highline giving up just 9. The officials for this game will be Logan Griffiths, Thomas Kelly, Chad Schmidt, and Ben Oakley. They are at midfield. They have both teams to the either side of them. Peninsula Pirates will be wearing their yellow uniforms with black numbers. The Highline Thunderbirds in their green uniforms, and we'll be lucky to see a number, it looks like, on them. And here they come for the march on.
Stadium, the site of the 2015 Northwest Athletic Conference Soccer Championships. Our second match of the day will be between the Highline Thunderbirds and the Peninsula Pirates. In just a few moments, I'll be announcing the entire lineup for each team, starting with the Highline Thunderbirds.
So now we're going to listen in to our PA announcer as he introduces both teams.
Rachel Thompson. Number 30, Sydney Peters. Number 0, Ivy Swain. Number 2, Nicole Cruz. Number 3, Isabel Marshall. Number 4, Amber Burbridge. Number 5, Alex Ash. Number 6, Ariana Fiorillo. Number 7, Zoe Server. Number 8, Doris Arma. Number 9, Angelique Dietrich. Number 10, Paige Server. Number 12, Carly Inman Ruth. Number 13, Alexis Pryor. Number 14, Emily Vanderheek. Number 15 is Maya Gray. Number 16, Serenity Grin. Number 19, Madison Gill. Number 20, Shante Brown. Number 24, Sierra Leach. Number 27, Annie Miller Wells. Number 28, Miranda Inman Ruth. Number 29, Michelle Day. And number 30, Destiny Guerrero. The head coach for the Thunderbirds is Tom Moore. He's assisted by Chris Wells and T.J. Young. And now for your Peninsula Pirates. Starting in goal, Manaya Suania Urupura. Cicely Arona. Number 2, Olivia Moore. Number 3, Kennedy Whitehead. Number 4, Elizabeth Humsey. Number 5 is Ellie Small. Number 6, Audrey Barham. Number 7, Hoku Afan. Number 8, Michelle Aram. Number 9, Tasha Inon. Number 10, Bianca Andrade. Number 12, Paige Mahuka. Number 13, Cameron Joy Hale. Number 14, Helen Dunn. Number 15, Kimber Howell. Number 16, Cody Mashamuro. Number 17, Lexi Krieger. Number 18, Kai Mahuka. Number 19, Brenda Torres. Number 20, Bailey Zuba. Number 21, Sierra Hamilton. Number 22, Karen Corral. Number 23, Cherry Hagan. And number 24, Brianna Jackson Valente. The Pirates are coached by Canyon Anderson, assisted by Jake Hughes, Carol Rodriguez, today's match. Our head referee is Logan Griffin, and he will be assisted by Thomas Kelly and Chad Schmidt. Thank you, and let's play ball.
So there's your roster introductions for game number 2, the Peninsula Pirates versus the Highline Thunderbirds. And we're going to talk about two teams that are on 2 streaks coming into this game. The Peninsula Pirates, winners of 14 consecutive games. They started the season with 10 consecutive shutouts. They're tied for the NWAC league with 15 shutouts. The Highline Thunderbirds have 5 shutouts on their last 6 games. This is going to be a defensive game featuring 2 very high-powered offenses as well. Peninsula with the NWAC lead and most goals scored, 86 goals. Highline was 66. Both teams headed back towards their benches, and we are about set to get underway. Peninsula comes into this match having given up no more than 1 goal in any game. Highline gave up only 1 goal once.
This is going to be a great match. 2 well-coached teams, 2 teams that are excited. One who's used to being here. Peninsula, perennial, here all the time. Highline's been trying to break through for a while, and they finally have. So you're going to see a little bit of difference there, and it'll be interesting to see how either team holds it or handles it.
We look at the teams coming in, and Peninsula, they're on a 14-game winning streak. There has to be a whole lot of confidence on that bench. They have the most goals. They're tied for the most shutouts. They give up 6 goals all year. What can you say about a team like that? They have the most goals scored, the least goals given up. That's a solid squad.
Well, and there is a challenge for Highline. So part of it is Highline's going to have to come out, and they're going to have to try to make Peninsula wonder if they're invincible, because I guarantee right now Peninsula's feeling very, very confident going into this match. And Highline's had an up-and-down year. You know, they've got the talent to explode and be incredibly good, and really they could have an incredible game. But Peninsula has the talent, too, just to suffocate the game and keep it going in the direction it's been going. No, these first 15 minutes are going to be interesting just to see, you know, which teams show up and see if it's going to go the way it's gone in years past, or see if Highline can find a way to kind of break through.
One of the things that struck me looking at the statistics for Peninsula, you know, when we looked at Spokane, they had one player with 28 goals, another player with double digits, and then it was pretty much a drop-off. Looking at Peninsula, it's not one player. It's their entire roster. They have 2 players with more than 10 goals. Then they've got a bunch with 9, a bunch with 8. Anybody on that field looks like they can score.
Yeah, year in and year out, that's what Peninsula does. They put a lot of players on the field that are quality. And there's different philosophies about that, too. Some coaches really try to funnel and feed players that score a lot of goals. And Peninsula's had their goal scorers in the past as well. And sometimes you don't have that player, so you need to spread it out a little bit.
So now we're underway. Peninsula with the opening kickoff. They put the ball deep down into the Highline zone.
Yeah,
Highline wearing
right away.
Highline with the green uniforms, the multi-shade of green uniforms. Peninsula in their white with black numbers. Highline controls the ball. Looks to dump it down into the Peninsula zone, but dumps it into the Peninsula bench for a Pirate throw-in. There is the throw as the rain comes down even harder than it did in the first game, if that's possible. You have to forgive a couple of name mistakes, which I've definitely see in the future, given the numbers on the back of the Highline uniforms. Those are a little bit tough to see from the vantage point up here. So we talked about the fact that Peninsula's been here before. Highline certainly with a lot of success in their soccer program as well. I'm sure they know what it's like to play in the postseason as well. You, of course, had a lot to do with the soccer program with Highline.
I do know that the women watched the men's team win it last year, and I'm sure that was very exciting for them, and I'm sure they're very excited to be in the opportunity or position to maybe do it for themselves this year. Tom Moore, former player of mine, former assistant coach of mine, he sees the game extremely well. He's put together a brilliant staff, and he's going to have these ladies prepared to come out here and have a great game. And, this has been a classic matchup, Highline Peninsula, both men's side and women's side, and I expect fireworks here.
Well, there's a great ball. Peninsula looking to chase it in. They've got a lot of speed as they control it.
Yeah, that was a great ball, and Highline does a good job to recover and get in the passing lanes there. But that was just a good run off the ball and a great time by Peninsula to clear up that left flank. Highline's put a little bit of pressure on him back here. That could be dangerous. Not quite sure. Looks like Peninsula might be playing a 4-3-3, but they definitely look to get their outside backs up the field.
So Peninsula looking to push the ball up. Highline with solid defense. Can't quite stop them, though. They're bringing up the right side. So we see her Hamilton with the ball. Cuts back towards the middle. Gets to Kennedy Whitehead. Hokua Fong tries to center it. Highline picks it off, puts it back towards midfield. And now here they come. Nice job fighting through two defenders. Tries to center. Loose ball.
Well, so you already see the difference between this match and the match prior. You got two teams that are willing to get bodies forward and looking for ways to attack, and I think you're going to see a little bit more wide open play this match.
That's the other thing I think we're going to see is some solid goaltending too, because two great offenses and two solid defenses.
Yeah, you're going to need to is when you start to move your defenders, your backs up the field. There's going to come a point where your keeper's just going to have to make a save and command the back. And so yeah, it's going to take a keeper save for either team probably in order to find the results today.
So here's Highline. Cross headed out by Peninsula. They look to move the ball the other way. Gets through. Once again, looks to push up, gets a pass. Peninsula on the move now. Cuts back towards the center of the field. Cross a little bit too fast.
So Peninsula's found something they like on that left flank. They seem to be going back there. Highline does a good job recovering. They kind of give up the run, but they don't really give up any opportunities out of it.
Here's a throw in. Peninsula with the control. Kennedy Whitehead. Ball played now by Madison Gale. She turns, looks to head upfield. Loose ball controlled by Highline. There's Highline dumping it in. So now Peninsula looking to put pressure on, a fight for the ball. Here comes the whistle. We're going to have a foul called. Nice crowd on hand for game 2 of the women's Final Four.
So it looks like Highline is leaving 3 up now. So maybe they're playing a 4-3-3 and trying to match the 3 in the midfield of Peninsula.
Highline's going to have a throw in. There's toss. They're going to control, looking for someone to center it to now. Ball shot in, gets right through the 5-hole, and that one's going to roll towards the other sideline. Good speed on Highline to track it down. They're going to prevent it from going out of bounds, and then it's going to be put out of bounds off of the Highline player. Peninsula throw in.
Yeah, you're going to see some good athleticism out of both of these sides today.
And one thing I'm seeing from Highline is they're looking for that pass, and they look like they definitely are a solid passing team. They're getting some balls through, and Peninsula certainly is on that left side as well. So that's going to create some opportunities.
Yeah, I watched both these teams play in the preseason friendlies, which if you get a chance to get out and see that next year, it was down in Eugene this year. Every NWAC school was there. Every team was there. You got a good feel for the league and a good feel for some of the top talent that's in the league. And both of these teams showed extremely well in that tournament. And it was pretty easy to forecast that we might be watching them here today.
Now we're going to have a foul on Highline. Free kick coming up for the Pirates. That's going to be taken by Bailey Zuber. Or check that. Sierra Hamilton sent in towards the middle, controlled by Highline. Ball up in the air. Brought down, gets past Highline towards the corner. Highline defense picks it up. With the turn back the other way. Looks like a touch of sideline. No call out of bounds, but that one's going to go out of bounds.
Ball's got to get all the way over, and I don't think that one was. So linesman was right there.
That one again going to squibble out of bounds. Peninsula Pirate throw in. So another great tournament here at Starfire, 12th year for the NWAC hosting their tournament here. What type of undertaking is it for a tournament like this to be put on? And Highline, of course, one of the schools doing that. What's the structure look like to put on something this big?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's getting people like yourself, together who are professional and come in here and do a great job and really help out. It's ran by administrators and the league does a very good job. Well, here's an opportunity for Peninsula.
Ball gets past the Highline defender, and here they come up that left side. They've got some good speed, but Highline's defense once again stops that, turns it around quickly the other way, and they look to move it back up that same side.
Well, you've seen it twice now, just a skip of a ball. And, if you make a mistake, Peninsula and Highline both have the pace and the ability to take advantage of any slight miscue. I will say this, Peninsula's gotten in already 3 times on that left side. And 3 times, Highline's been able to recover and get in the lanes and really keep it from getting too dangerous. But I don't think they want to play with that too much more, flirt with that too much more.
I don't know, it looked like they had a quick chance right there, but it was controlled by Peninsula, and they get the ball back down into the Highline zone, headed back to the keeper, and she's going to control it.
Yeah, bouncing balls. You've seen it in the last game, dangerous balls, people run into them. You want to try to get that on the floor and get control of it if you can, because as the ball's in the air, funny things tend to happen.
The ball comes into the Highline zone, turn around, puts it right back into Peninsula. Struggle for the ball, controlled by the Pirates. They just dump it in, looking to make something happen. Highline controls.
Well, you've definitely seen that early. Peninsula likes to dump that ball into the attacking third and just kind of get bodies on it. And they've been doing that for a while. They're pretty good at doing that. And definitely a calling card of the Peninsula Pirates.
Well, ball goes out of play. Looks to chase it down, unsuccessful. That's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be a Peninsula Pirate throw-in, handled by Sierra Hamilton. Peninsula having a tough time keeping their shoes tied so far. That's the third player that's trying to stop during play. Must be all that speed.
It's these new shoes they got out nowadays. You see this all over the league. You see this at every single level. Adidas and Nike are probably going to have to try to figure out a way to fix that.
There comes Peninsula right up the right side. Nice pass. Gets through to Ellie Small. A little bit too fast on this surface, and out of bounds it goes. That's going to be a goal kick coming up. A little bit slower. That would have been a great chance.
Yeah, no, you got to hit those balls just right as you're getting somebody down with their feet. Difficult pass to make.
One of the things I noticed during the last game, something that I'm not used to not seeing in a soccer match, and that was there was not one offsides called in the last game at all.
Well, part of that just had to do with the style of play. You had one team sitting in a shell. With these two teams going at it, there might be more of a chance to see them in this game as you start getting bodies up and down the field. Plus, you have much more of an attacking type of mentality, I think, with both of these programs right now, which is going to, cause the forwards to maybe test that line a little bit.
So Highline with the ball now, looking to set something up. Stripped by Peninsula. Give and go. They move up towards the center of the field. Pass intended for Hoku Afong. Winds up in the hands of Highline. They get the ball towards midfield. That's going to be Nicole Cruz. Gets the pass over to Shantae Warnes. Heads up the right side out of bounds. That's going to be Peninsula ball. So a long throw in goes into the Highline zone. They turn around quickly, get it back out to the midfield stripe.
That was very composed defense by Highline. Looked to play out pretty well.
Preparing for this game, that's one of the things that stood out unbelievably. I mean, 6 goals and 9 goals over an entire season. These defenses gave up. Unbelievable.
No, again, that's a sign of being well coached. I mean, you got 2 great coaches out there, both of them with a ton of experience, and then they do a good job of putting players in places. So it doesn't matter how good a coach you are if you don't have players. And both of these coaches have done a great job of putting in some deep rosters and putting players in the right positions. So yeah, kind of expected.
So Highline dumps the ball in. Peninsula's going to chase it down. No real threat by Highline on that attempt. Highline, however, does keep it in. Nice pass back. Kylie Wolf Inman. But we're going to have a whistle. The ball's going to go the other way.
Well, that was a foul. She came in late and she got a hold of her. Now, there has been a lot of hands up and grabbing and hands on back. So you can already see there's a little bit of a physical element to this game, a little bit more physical than we saw last game.
We're going to await the free kick by Peninsula. Got her hands up. Here it comes. Right down the center of the field. Takes a quick header off a Peninsula player, but Highline able to control the ball. They turn around. That's going to be Dakota Grimm.
Yeah, no, that was a nice job of my BAM to get up and grab that ball and get a head on it and keep it going. And fortunately for Highline, they're able to pick up the run off the ball.
Another foul on Highline. Another free kick coming up for Peninsula. Lexi Krieger lining up for this free kick.
That's a great service.
Right past everyone, quick skip to the goalie.
Those fouls up around there look innocent enough, but again, that was a great service in, dangerous ball, and you get a little touch, a little deflection, and that's in the back of the net. So you want to be careful if you're Highline with fouls up around that area.
That was one quick misdirection away from being a goal. .16-minute mark. Scoreless here in Game 2 of the NWAC Women's Final Four from Starfire.
Well, you definitely see what Highline's trying to do now. They're setting their back 4, and they got 2 sitting on top of them. So they're looking to defend with those 6 and then attack with their diamond. You can also see what Peninsula's looking to do. They're attacking up the flanks, and they're trying to find ways in and around quickly the outside.
Highline controls that ball, tries to clear it out. Able to get it to one of her teammates. Madison Gale controls the ball, sends it across the field. Picked up by Shantae Warnes. Turns heads up the right side. Gets past one Peninsula player. loses control, and Peninsula just go ahead and puts it out of bounds. That's going to be a Highline throw-in.
You notice when Highline picks up the ball, Peninsula drops quickly into that deep cover. They get their center back, gets back there and keeps the game in front of them. So it'll be interesting to see if Highline can find some space on the flanks that naturally creates.
Throw-in gets past everybody. Peninsula's happy just to let it run out of bounds, and that's going to be a goal kick.
Well, this has been an interesting game so far. I mean, it just in the quick 17 minutes, it seems like Highline maybe is able to get the ball and get a little bit of control, but Peninsula's probably looked a little bit more dangerous.
And here's the goal kick. Kept in by Highline. Peninsula takes control off of the header. So I saw in the news kind of an interesting rule change coming up for youth soccer. It'll be interesting to see how that affects players as they develop. Players 10 and under are not going to be allowed to use their head anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. I guess I know where they're coming from. It's unfortunate because I think there's ways to teach, young girls and boys how to head a ball and keep themselves safe. And, I worry a little bit about these rules with us not training them how to play the game properly because it's part of the game. And, a lot of us played for a lot of years and used our heads and, seem to be doing okay.
In fact, that last goal that we saw to win the game for Spokane, nice header right off of a corner kick for the Sasquatch to advance to the championship game. They're going to face the winner of this match right here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can already tell it's going to be an exciting match no matter who comes out of this side to face Spokane. Spokane's a great team, well coached, and they've been there before. So you're going to have players on that team that are probably itching to get back in the final and do one better than they did last year.
So if you want to come out and join us tomorrow, the finals are 3 o'clock. The men's final is going to follow. Going to be some fantastic soccer here at Starfire. Don't worry about the weather. Got a roof for you. Plenty of hot coffee to keep you warm. Come on out and join us for the NWAC Championships tomorrow, starting at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, what a venue this place is. I mean, it really is a great place to watch a game. Covered, central, and like we say, all sorts of amenities and services around you to keep you comfortable and warm.
So they're going to have a foul from Highline again in that same spot that we saw a little bit ago.
This is a real dangerous spot right here. Highline needs to make sure that they keep their discipline and they're alert because I'm pretty sure that Peninsula has a plan, and they're going to do something that is going to create maybe an opportunity for them off of this set play.
My band set to take the kick for the Pirates.
See Highline man marking. Great ball in.
Finds the head of a Thunderbird who's able to get it out. Ball, however, kept in, fight for it. 2 feet met on that one, and it goes out of bounds. We're going to have a goal kick coming up for the Thunderbirds.
I'll tell you what, that was well done by Highline, picking up the second ball and challenging the ball in the air. That was a brave tackle by both the Peninsula player and the Highline player going in. You know how much this game means to them. So oftentimes it's those types of tackles and second balls and just digging it out that gets it done at this level.
So Highline with some nice head work to advance the ball up into the Peninsula side of the field. Turned in a kick. Got a player on the end of that.
This is Maddie. She can do some damage. Great
nice
ball
cross.
in.
Just off the edge of her foot.
Well, so there you saw it. Peninsula's tendency to drop that center back deep created a little bit of room on the outside for Maddie to get in. And instead of trying to go to goal, she played a dangerous ball in, had the run in, and almost got themselves a goal, which would have been real welcome for them, I'm sure, at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, that was off the foot of Dakota Grimm, and it looks like had she got that squarely, she certainly would have had the goalie beat, but wasn't able to do that. And the keeper was able to scoop that up. That's Malia Henderson in net for Peninsula.
Yeah, nice job by the keeper, and also a really nice job by the defenders to mark that run through.
So now opportunities for both teams as we head into the 22nd minute of play here in the first half.
I'd be real surprised to see this game go to a 0-0 overtime as we did the last game, just by the virtue of the open play we've seen to this point.
So no real pressure by Highline on that one. Then they turn and chase it in now.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. You do want to see them step forward like they did, and Maddie was able to grab a corner kick out of that just simply by putting a little bit of pressure on the defense. The defender did the right thing by not putting their team in jeopardy.
And Shantae Warrens is going to head over, take this corner for the Thunderbirds.
Corner kick to be taken by number 20, Shantae Warrens.
Corner kicks and set plays are huge this time of year. Good ball in.
Here. Madison Gale gets the ball back out to Shantae Warrens. Both teams fighting for it out near the 18. Peninsula tries to clear it out, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul. Free kick coming up for Peninsula.
Well, the referee's definitely letting them play this game. He's been letting physical play go both directions. And I'm okay with that. You know, I see this as a game both teams are going to fight for, but if he's letting it go this early in the game, you wonder what the game's going to be like later on.
Here's the kick out near the mid-stripe. However, controlled by the Thunderbirds. They look to dump it back in. Neither team with solid possession, but Peninsula keeps it now. Sent back out by Highline.
You know, both teams have pretty good center mids. So that my band, she's very silky on the ball. Seems to find good options, and you know, Highline with Dulcie and Nicole Cruz, both very good players. Nice ball in.
Looked to turn, but there wasn't anyone ahead of her. Now she gets the ball back out.
That's a good shot.
Just over the crossbar.
Well, on one hand, you want to see a little bit more urgency, but on the other hand, that was great patience. She found a shot, got the ball back to Madison Gale, and Madison put an attempt towards goal. Unfortunately, just going a little bit high and wide.
Yeah, Nicole Cruz had that just outside the 18, and she turned, and I think she was surprised to see nobody ahead of her. Like you said, great patience, turn around and make something happen, and not just turn the ball over in the middle of a bunch of Pirate defenders.
Well, Peninsula always travels well, and their men's team's down there trying to get a little bit of energy into the side. I think they see it right now. Highline's having a little bit of the run of play, and I think they're trying to get them going. This Peninsula team is capable of turning around on a dime, and I think they know that. And so I think they're just trying to fire them up a little bit.
And now here Peninsula comes up the left side with Lexi Krieger. Krieger looking for a cross, but she didn't have a control. The Highline sends it out off their foot, and that's going to come up for a corner kick for Peninsula as my band heads over to take that kick.
Boy, Lexi's been real good on that left flank. She's done a great job of getting in and really stretching the Highline defense.
So soccer fans, plenty of soccer still coming up.
Good ball
this
in.
Afternoon. Ball sent in. Goes out just wide of the net off of Highline player, and that's going to be another corner kick coming up for Peninsula, this time from the opposite side.
Yeah, crowd wanted a foul there, but, you know, they probably could have called one on the other side as well. You'd hate to see a cheap penalty kick given at this point. Two hands on the back again.
Ball out to midfield, controlled by Peninsula. Highline not satisfied with letting Peninsula take the ball in any part of the field. They're putting pressure on right away. Now they have the ball, bring it up across midfield. Looking to go right towards the middle. Madison Gale, nice turnaround and a pass.
Ooh.
Big collision. Fans looking for a call, not happening. As Peninsula tries to move the ball, but it's played off the foot of Hoku Afong. Thunderbird ball.
You know, these are two good teams, and they're just playing hard. You know, it's it's impressive to watch these two go at it. So I hope that the game's earned. I hope that the game isn't given, but because both of these teams are deserving of that for sure.
So a nice kick from the keeper out across midfield. Peninsula looking to control it, doesn't have luck. Highline takes the ball back the other way. Shante Warren's looking for someone to pass to, and she just turns heads upfield. She got Annalise Miller fighting for the ball, goes out across the end line, and they're going to call a goal kick coming up for Peninsula.
She's a spark plug at Annalise every time she comes off the bench, and she seems to come in and bring a certain level of energy to Highline. Often that's what you want with a sub, just to come on and maybe change something up a little bit, bring a little something that wasn't there.
Goal kick taken by Sierra Hamilton. Dumped in, got a couple players from both teams trying to chase it down. Simply sent back to the keeper by Highline. They're going to send the ball the other way.
Yeah, Highline's going to have to be careful on that. They're going to have to stay disciplined and really try to keep that ball in front of them, because they're going to see that a little bit today. Peninsula's got a few players who are very capable of getting on the end of those dump balls.
Goal Cruz dumped it in, looking for a player at the end of the pass. Gets through, goes to the goalie.
Well, they keep trying to find that Lexi, and I would too. Like I said, she's been dangerous at stretching that Highline defense, and she's had a lot of success down that flank. So, yeah, if I'm Peninsula, I'm going to continue trying to find her as well.
Highline with the throw in. They turn, look to head it up midfield. Nice pass through to Madison Gale.
Yeah, it's just great work through the middle of the field.
Defense picks out a lot of contact on a couple of plays. Highline looking to set something up. Madison Gale straight up the middle of the field. Just puts it on goal. Picked up by Malia Henderson.
It was a bit of a hopeful try, but you want to see your one of your number one top players for the last couple of years maybe get some opportunities like that.
Peninsula looking to make something happen the other way. Ball goes out of bounds off of Kylie Wolf. That's going to be a Peninsula throw-in.
Well, this has been a game that's been played in both teams' thirds. There hasn't been a whole lot through the middle of the field, has there?
That's going to be a goal kick coming up. All right, actually, it was a foul. Real tough to see that corner from this viewpoint.
I think he's been pretty consistent of not giving too much to the team in the attacking third, and he's been pretty tight as far as giving fouls to the attacking team, and I'm okay with that as long as he's consistent both ways.
So Peninsula maintains possession, heads back out towards the middle of the field. Kennedy Whitehead swings the pass out to the left flank. Nice move, turn, shot on goal, hits the side of the net.
Great work by Lexi to create her shot. I mean, she's been going down that wing all day long and gets the defense thinking that way, cuts in and rifles a shot just outside the near post.
Goal kick kept in by Peninsula. Highline with possession, though. Both these teams doing a fairly decent job at hanging on to the ball when they have possession of it and taking those passes as opposed to just dumping and running. Nice try to give and go into Madison Gale. Turns with two defenders on her. Looking for Nicole Cruz on the left side. Kylie Wolf sends it in the center. Shante Warrens with the attempt on the head.
No, that was a nice build up by Highline as they worked their way up there and got bodies in place and ball to feet and created a cross opportunity.
Showed some patience on that possession as they're looking for something to happen and trying to force something.
Oh, they did.
Goal kick for Peninsula taken by Sierra Hamilton. Heads it towards the sideline, but intercepted by Madison Gale. Annalise Miller to Warnes up the right side. Warnes turns, heads something towards the center of the box. Scooped up by the Peninsula keeper, Malia Henderson.
Yeah, that was a great ball in by Warnes. It was a dangerous ball. They had runners coming through, but Malia was equal to the task and did a great job of getting there and making sure that nobody had to sweat that one too much.
33rd minute, game 2 of the NWAC Women's Final Four. Certainly no lack of action in this one. A lot of contact, hard play, clean play, and these teams looking to make something happen.
Definitely see the contrast between this game and the last game. We mentioned it earlier, but you got two teams here that, they're used to scoring goals, and what amazes me is their goal against average with the way they get bodies forward. So that just tells you a little bit about their ability in transition as well.
A lot of speed on these teams. Peninsula with the throw in. Ball kicked up, controlled by Peninsula. Scoots past a couple of Highline Thunderbirds. Looking to turn, no luck, little contact. Highline tries to clear it, Peninsula holds it in. Highline looks to clear it, not a lot of luck, just puts it out of bounds, and that's going to be another Peninsula throw-in.
Peninsula does a good job of getting bodies and just kind of covering the Highline defense, making it hard to play out. But in doing so, they also win a lot of first balls and a lot of second balls.
Here they are deep in the Highline third. Goes out of bounds. This time it's going to be maintained by Highline for a throw-in. Look to turn that ball up the other way and get something happening on the other end of the field.
Nice little bit of skill there.
Peninsula again tries to dump and chase. That ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to be possession for the Thunderbirds. So to get to this point, both these teams with first-round byes, both these teams played a second-seed team. Peninsula beating Idaho 1-0 to get to this point, and Highline victorious over Clark 2-0 to get to this point in the playoffs. The winner of this match will face off with Spokane tomorrow, 3 o'clock here at the Starfire Stadium. So Highline with the throw-in. Just 10 minutes left to go here in this first half. Peninsula dumps the ball in towards the Highline keeper. Gets right through. Highline dumps the ball in. Easy handle for the Peninsula keeper.
A quick little shout out to Jimmy Rippingham watching us live from Reno, Nevada. Highline's done a lot of recruiting outside of the state of Washington, in Reno, in Nevada, California. So anyways, thanks for tuning in and watching the game.
That ball's going to go in Highline's favor. It's one of the things I noticed looking at the rosters in a lot of sports is the number of players that we get from Las Vegas and Reno.
Yeah, it's Peninsula's done a great job over the last few years of kind of broadening the scope of who they go out and get. Kind of being stuck out there, or I actually should say out in Port Angeles, away from the main populous areas of the state. They've had to find ways to be creative and get players in, and they've done a dynamite job at doing it. And for that reason, you've seen some of these other schools now respond and go out and get players as well. there's a lot of talent here in the Northwest. My philosophy has always been to kind of try to stay local, but you see these programs doing a good job of bringing players in, and you certainly can't fault the results.
Now that's one thing that's a little bit different than people are used to hearing from D1 programs where they have those scholarships to offer players. Now at the JUCO level,
great ball.
Just a little bit fast. Madison Gale could have been on the end of a nice pass right there and put that one in, but it scoots through, and the Peninsula Key was able to round that one up. At the JUCO level, you don't have that opportunity to offer the players the same amenities, do you?
Well, we don't have the housing. You can't offer them housing, but we do have good scholarships, and we also have affordable tuition. So what you find is a lot of players come this way for the because with the scholarships we can offer and with our low tuition, we're actually more affordable than many of the other options that they have available to them.
As we're seeing right here, the level of competition is certainly a plus as well. These players are going to be tested when they come to the NWAC, and there we saw Madison Gale with an opportunity, look to tee one up, and again she puts it just over the crossbar, and that's going to be a goal kick coming up for Peninsula here as we approach the 39th minute of the first half. No. Real quick first half.
For sure. I mean, you got 22 players on the field for both these programs that are high quality and very capable of going on and playing and helping out four-year schools, and I'm sure many of them, if not most of them, will.
One of the things about women's soccer that doesn't seem as prevalent as men's soccer is once you get past the college level, it seems to be, you have the pro league for women's, and then you have the national team. There's not a lot of opportunities that you see for women's soccer that men's soccer have. Is that something that you see with the popularity of women's soccer changing?
Well, I hope so. I mean, you're seeing it grow, and you're seeing opportunities come, but you're seeing that on the men's side of the game as well. I mean, it hasn't been very long that men have had a lot of opportunities outside of college either. But, I think as we start having players like Carly Lloyd and, Hope Solo and some of those, just really incredible soccer players that really, I think, inspire younger players to join the sport, hopefully you're going to see more opportunities for them in the future.
Here we have a corner kick coming up for Peninsula. Here's a kick a little long. First touch by Highline, held in by Peninsula. And finally just kicked out of bounds. Now it's going to be a Thunderbird goal kick.
Yeah, Peninsula's been very dangerous on their set plays all day, the first half. Corner kicks, they've got just great service into the box, and you get a lot of players up there. So pretty much every time has resulted in a ball heading towards goal.
So here we're going to see a sub coming in for the Pirates as the rain really intense right now. Peninsula able to keep it in. Olivia Moore heads towards the goal.
Peninsula seems to be getting a little bit of the play right now, don't they?
There we see a player just slip on the turf. That's Sierra Hamilton going down. Peninsula able to recover the ball. But as they try to send it up the field, held in by Highline as they dump it. Some contact between the Highline player and the Peninsula goalkeeper. Center referee heads over to talk to the Highline player. That's going to be Miranda Wolf that came in contact with the Peninsula goalie. So 42nd minute, Peninsula crowd definitely wanted a call there, but the Highline player did try to hold up. It wasn't an intentional.
Yeah, the referee did the right thing there. Went in and warned the player and said, hey, you need to be a little bit more careful. It looked to me like the Highline player probably took the worst of it. So, again, you want to see these players. They're all quality. You want to see them earn it.
Peninsula just dumps it in.
Oh, we have a penalty. We have a free kick.
There's a foul.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Just out of the view. Lean forward, saw it. Nicely brought down by Highline.
No, good composure in the back. These last few minutes are very important. You know, you can take a goal into halftime. You carry a lot of momentum into that second half. Of course, you give up a goal going into halftime, and it's difficult to recover from sometimes. So these last few minutes of play, very important for both teams.
Peninsula looking to make something happen. They got a player down the right side, and there it is, headed towards the center. That's Olivia Moore in the middle of the box looking for the ball. Sierra Hamilton tries to dump it in. We're going to have a whistle.
Yeah, Peninsula is really starting to get bodies forward, and they're doing a good job of really putting the pressure on Highline right now. And you see Highline kind of just hanging on here a little bit. As far as a foul goes, I've seen a little bit more play, but maybe the referee's feeling like he needs to kind of clamp down a little bit right now.
And here we see that spot with a great kicker. This is Sierra Hamilton with the free kick.
It's a real dangerous ball at the 43rd minute right here. She kind of missed that service there a little bit.
Ball played back and forth down the middle of the pitch. Highline controls it, turns it over to Peninsula. Tough to hold on to. Played back out to Hamilton. Hamilton heads it up for Olivia Moore. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Highline, and there we're going to have a foul.
Maybe trying to get a little bit of a shot back for her knock that she got.
Foul called on Sierra Hamilton. Free kick coming up, going to be taken by Sierra Leach for Highline.
Oh, dangerous. Well cleared out by Peninsula.
Sent straight up. Peninsula looking to control. Both teams going up for it. Now Peninsula turns. Highline able to intercept it, keep it back in. Dolce Armas with the ball. Sent in towards the keeper. And the ball goes out of bounds on the far sideline. It'll be a throw in for the T-Birds. 45th minute here of this opening half. I figure both these teams right now are looking to head underneath the tent as it is absolutely pouring outside.
Yeah. They're probably not even feeling it right now, to be perfectly honest with you. But I tell you what, now they're feeling it.
And there's a whistle to end the first half, and just like the first game, this game's going to be 0-0 at the half. We'll be back in 15 minutes. You are watching the NWAC Women's Soccer Final Four from Starfire, Peninsula Pirates, Highline Thunderbirds, 0-0 at halftime. Welcome back to the Starfire Sports Complex in Tukwila, Washington. We are heading into the second half of Game 2 of the Northwest Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Final Four. This game between the Peninsula Pirates and the Highline Thunderbirds tied 0-0. Set of referees ready for the kickoff of the second half. Peninsula back on the field, and here comes Highline. Shots close in the first half. Peninsula with 4, Highline with 3. Both teams with chances to score. That's something we thought would happen coming into this game. Peninsula leading the NWAC in goals scored with 86. Highline was 66. However, the more telling number is the fact that Peninsula gave up just 6 goals all season. Highline just 9, and we're seeing some solid defense here this afternoon as well.
Well, you've seen it done 2 different ways. First game you saw a team sit in. Here you just seen athletes getting back in transition.
So Highline running right off the start of the kickoff.
This first 5 minutes is going to be interesting. You know, a lot of times you see goals scored early in the half or late in the half. And
here comes Highline with the first opportunity of the second half. Kick goes, it looked like it went off a Peninsula player, and there it is. There's the call for the corner kick as Shantae Warrens heads over to take that corner. Great opportunity for Highline coming right off the opening of the second half.
No, you like to see that. Annalisa gets the ball top of the 18. She just turns and hits it. Gets a little deflection, and the defense is good, but pulls a corner kick out of it.
So here comes Warren. She's got the ball spotted.
It's a good ball in.
Great ball in. Doesn't find the right head, though, and trickles to the other side. Highline with control. Turns looking to send it back in. Peninsula tries to clear it. Contact. No whistle. Shot taken by Highline.
Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like a couple players got tangled up. And, again, you never want to see somebody get hurt. But this has been a physical game. Two teams playing extremely hard.
Yeah, it was a clean tackle for sure. That's the reason for the non-whistle. Referee calling for the trainers. Trainers now noticing that they're called for, and they head out. They got that player down. And it looked like she doesn't want to move. It looks like she doesn't want to move. I think it was her leg that got caught underneath the Highline player.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of concern by her teammates, but they seem to be feeling a little bit more comfortable about the situation. So hopefully she'll pop right back up and rejoin the game.
So once again, shots in the first half, 4 for Peninsula, 3 for Highline. The officials in charge of this contest, again, Logan Griffiths, Thomas Kelly, Chad Schmidt, and Ben Oakley. Coming up after this game is going to be the first game of the men's Final Four, a team you know a little bit about, the Tacoma Titans, taking on, I believe, the Spokane Sasquatch in game number 1 of the men's Final Four.
Yeah, Tacoma Titans won this in 2000, and the last time they're in the Final Four was 2001, and that's too long for a college located in a soccer town. And yeah, we're excited to see them back here and hopefully making this a perennial trip for the Tacoma Titans.
So kickoff of that one, 3:30. Be sure you stick around for that. Watching the Final Four, men's and women's, here on NWACsports.org. Thanks for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate it. And it looks like we are set for a corner kick coming up for Peninsula.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for Highline. It's always dangerous as a coach when I was seeing this. You're bringing a new player off the bench in a critical situation to defend a corner kick.
There's the whistle. Here comes the kick. Sent right in. Ricochets around. Anything can happen at that point. There it is. Cleared out by a Peninsula defender.
Oh, I think Highline would like to have a couple of those swings of the leg back. There was maybe 2 or 3 great opportunities there, but give Peninsula credit. They're throwing themselves around and got in the way, and at the end of the day, we're able to pull a goal kick out of it.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice save by a Peninsula defender standing in front of the net. The goalkeeper was down, wasn't able to get over to the area, and she prevented that goal.
Yeah, no, Highline's made some adjustments in the second half, and they seem to come out on top of this. Now, Peninsula's going to try to fight their way back in and maybe get some play going, but as of right now, it's been rolling Highline's way.
Here we see Maya Gray coming in, holding on to the ball, fighting off a Peninsula defender. Peninsula turns around the other way. Here they come. That's going to be Ellie Small. Makes a turn looking for someone to pass it to.
Well, that was a great ball by Ellie.
Michelle Wan. She turns, looks to center it. Gets through, but Peninsula's waiting on the other side.
Just like that, Peninsula's able to get in the attack. So we're talking about Highline having a little bit of run of play, and before you know it, Peninsula's breathing down Highline's goal. So it tells you a little bit about the quality of that team. They don't panic.
So their Highline turns, heads up the other way. Peninsula stops it, turns it around. Now we're seeing some action in that middle third of the field. And a whistle.
Yeah, a little bit of bumping there. Nothing too big of a deal.
It's going to be a foul on Peninsula. Here comes Highline with the free kick.
It's a good ball in. Oh, ends up.
And it gets past Peninsula a little bit too fast to do anything with it. But they're going to say that went off a Peninsula Pirate, and that's going to be a corner kick for Highline.
Sometimes those balls in the 18, they're just dangerous. They just create opportunity, create a little bit of havoc. And right there, a good ball in. Peninsula goes up and gets a head on it. Highline comes away with a corner kick.
That's going to be Shantae Warrens spotting the ball for the corner. We saw what happened on that last corner. They had a great opportunity, but weren't able to put it in.
Well, you got another carrying a little confidence into this corner.
This one comes up just a little bit short. Peninsula tries to clear it. I mean, look, finally they get a foot on it and send it out towards midfield.
Yeah, well defended by Peninsula, and they're actually turning into a nice little attack. Great fight by number 5.
Ellie Small had the ball on that one. I think we're seeing the effects of just a real slick ball right now.
We are, no doubt about it. But we're also seeing 2 very athletic teams. And, you know, I've watched the growth of women's soccer in the NWAC. And Chad Bodner, who's now at Eastern, just turned that program around, doing unbelievable things with the women's program at Eastern. He kind of really got it started. He used to have some very athletic teams in the NWAC. And now you're starting to see it filter all the way down. You're seeing 2 great athletic teams out there on the field right now.
There's a throw in from Gray. Battle for it along the sideline. Highline able to keep it in, but they send it down into the corner where it's met by Malia Henderson. Gets the throw out to Maiban. Maiban to Hoku Afong. Back to Maiban. Stripped by Highline.
It only counts if you get it back, Pete.
And Peninsula turns and puts it up the field the other way. Ball goes out of bounds and be a throw in for Highline. .53rd minute, still knotted at 0. If I was going to choose a game of the women's first 2 to be a high-scoring game, I guess I would have thought this one would have had some goals so far.
No, I agree with you, Pete. I mean, you see the both teams' athleticism and attack and the willingness to get forward, but, you know, you're also seeing 2 teams that really want to play tomorrow, and they work just as hard to get back on defense as they did to get forward on offense.
Pirates with the throw-in, tossed in towards the middle. Sent out by Highline. Good job on defense. Annalise Miller turns heads upfield for Highline. Good speed tracking that one down. Misplayed by Peninsula. Annalise Miller with a chance. Here she is in all by herself. Puts it in. Oh. Goal by Highline. What an effort we saw there.
That was straight effort. Absolutely. She worked her way in. She got in, challenged the ball. Unfortunately for Peninsula, she lost her footing. And then you saw the keeper miss her footing a little bit, and just a composed finish by
Annalise Miller-Wells got that one.
Annalise Miller.
Great goal, and just like that, it is 1-0 T-Birds in the 55th minute.
Well, so now how will Peninsula respond? You know, I'm sure they're not used to being down. I got a feeling that they're going to respond very well, as they always do, probably with a little bit of energy, and Highline's going to have to find a way to match it. And yep, just like that, they're down inside the 18 and looking to create an opportunity. Great ball cut back. Just a last-second poke by Highline to keep that from being a 1-1 game.
That was Kendall Howe looking for Audrey Barham, and just off the side of her foot, and it could have been 1-1 real quick.
Yeah, no, you're going to see Peninsula continue to fight and bring bodies forward. They aren't going to go down without a fight, I guarantee you that.
Still a lot of time left to go in this one for them to get that goal back, and they're putting on a lot of pressure right away.
Yeah, Highline's going to have to be careful not just to sink onto their heels here and just, you know, take this pressure, because I think there's too much firepower on that Peninsula side. if that ends up being what happens.
So there we see some contact. Late whistle by the ref. And we're going to have a foul on Peninsula. Free kick coming up for the T-Birds.
Yeah, I mean, I think the referee's been pretty consistent. I don't know that I agree with all of his calls, but, he's been calling them, both ways.
Peninsula controls it finally after a chase for the ball into the far corner. Taken back by Highline, back to Peninsula. Then just kicked out of bounds, and that should be a Highline throw-in on the far side.
Well, you saw how quick Peninsula could put pressure on once they gave that goal up. So, it's tough to hold up for, the rest of the game or the next 20, 30 minutes. But Highline's going to have to find a way to stem it and kind of get through it. And this is an opportunity to counterpunch it.
Now, one thing to look ahead, I mean, obviously, neither of these teams can look ahead. They're right in the middle of a battle right now. But from this standpoint, from a fan's view, looking ahead, obviously these teams are expending a lot of energy, and they're going to face a team tomorrow which had a fairly slow-paced game. Is that going to be an advantage to Spokane?
What a great ball across. Good opportunity. Well defended by Peninsula. Oh, good shot.
And that's going to find the back of the net from, looked to be about 40 yards out. What a goal. Patience. She took that ball off her foot, stepped back, and put it in. That was an amazing goal. What a view looking downfield.
Yeah, no, that's just composure on the ball, recognizing an opportunity, and, she just absolutely put a nice ball back in the net. Look, I'll say it right now, 2 goals. I still consider Peninsula very dangerous, so we'll see what ends up happening.
One of the things I noticed on that one, because that ball came back, she took her time, saw what was happening downfield. There was no defense to speak of, and she just lobbed it right over the keeper into the back of the net for that 2-goal lead. That second goal coming in the 58th minute. And Highline with a 2-goal advantage right now. Peninsula clearly with their backs against the wall. They're going to have to make something happen in these final 30 minutes, or their season's going to come to an end today.
The key, Pete, right now for Peninsula is just to get a goal. I mean, they can't focus on trying to tie this game up. They can't focus on trying to win this game. What they need to focus on right now is they just need to try to get a goal.
So a little struggle for the ball, no one with clear possession. Peninsula finally comes out with it. They turn, and they're looking into a stubborn Highline defense.
No, they are. Both teams are showing a little bit of fight right now, which is important for both of their seasons.
Kendall Howell puts the ball up to Tasha Inong. Back to Kendall Howell. Put out of bounds by Maya Gray for Highline. Throw in for Peninsula. Inong tries to center it. Loose ball sent out by Highline, and the player's going to hit the deck hard on that one. And we're going to have a yellow card.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, she came in a little bit out of control. Like, she was just trying to score. I don't think there was anything malicious or intentional about that. But it put the player in a little bit of a dangerous area. It wasn't a flick. That was a pretty hard hit. So I think the card's justified. But like I say, I think it was just a player trying to go in and score a goal.
So Kennedy Whitehead hit with the yellow card in the 60th minute here in the second half. Free kick coming up for the T-Birds, and here it is sent downfield by the goalie, Ivy Swains, controlled by Peninsula. Finally able to control the ball, and then kicks it over towards the sideline. Seeing a lot of pressure by that Highline defense now. They're putting 2 players on the ball as soon as the Peninsula player gets it.
No, they're smelling their opportunities. There's no doubt about it. They're sensing some blood in the ground right now, and they're trying to see if they can finish this game off.
Miranda Wolf gets the ball.
Oh, that ball laid up nice for her, and she had a chance, just a little bit too much curl on it.
Sends it out. That was Destiny Guerra with the attempt. Sends it wide. Goal kick coming up for Peninsula.
Now you're starting to see some space open up in the attack for Highline as Peninsula's getting their bodies forward, trying to get that goal. But again, there's a lot of time left on that clock. You got 30 minutes left in this game, and I think the last thing Peninsula's going to do or needs to do is panic at this point.
Quick whistle foul on Highline. Free kick coming up from Peninsula, and I think one thing that Peninsula definitely does not want to do is get so hurried they make a mistake and give Highline a third goal, because that would be a huge hill to have to overcome.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I said, there's tons of time in this game, so you don't want to panic and leave yourself exposed and give up a third goal, because then you're hoping to crawl back in for a tie at that point.
Peninsula with the throw-in, taken by Highline. Goes out of bounds off of a Pirate. Going to be a throw-in coming up for the T-Birds, taken by Maya Gray. And there's a throw lobbed in the middle of a group of players, controlled by Peninsula. They turn, dump it right back up, instead kick it out of bounds. Another throw-in coming up for the T-Birds.
Yeah, Highline doesn't look like they're in any hurry to get to this ball right now, do they? That clock can't run fast enough for them, and it can't slow down enough for Peninsula.
And the throw-in again. Seeing a lot more contact than we saw in the first half, and perhaps that's a little bit of the urgency coming on the part of the Peninsula Pirates. Ball controlled now by Highline.
Yeah, like we said earlier, this is a physical game. I think both teams are just out there playing hard. I don't see a lot of dirty play at all by anyone. I just see players trying to win battles.
There's a throw-in towards the center of the pitch. Karen Corral with the ball. Tries to get a pass to Kennedy Whitehead. Overshoots it. Maya Gray picks it up, turns it around the other way for Highline. Gets the ball to the center. Annalise Miller unable to hold it in. Ball goes over to the Pirates, but then Highline takes control right back. Peninsula heads up towards the middle of the field. One thing I think a lot of soccer fans are used to seeing, a team gets up by 2 goals in the second half, especially 15 minutes into the second half. They tend to sit back and pass the ball in their own defensive zone. We're not seeing that from Highline. They're still pushing. They have their foot on the gas still.
No, and I think that's a good thing because, like I said, this Peninsula team is solid. They're very, very good. So if you try to defend too long on top of your 18, they're going to find a goal, and they find a goal, they're right back in this game. So, again, I think it's important that Highline doesn't rest on their heels. And I also think it's important that Peninsula realizes there's a lot of time left and they just continue to play.
Highline turns on the throw-in, tries to send the ball down to the center of the pitch, goes off of a Peninsula Pirate. That's going to be a throw-in for Highline. Maya Gray headed up to handle that. Still no let up in the weather. Well, let's face it, this is soccer weather. Used to that in the fall. A lot of rain, a lot of chill.
Oh, these players have played worse than this. I guarantee you that. Both of them, all of them, both teams.
Nice move by Peninsula, however, met by 2 Highline defenders. Gets it back, so able to maintain possession. They head up the right side of the field. Finally dumped in. Met by Highline.
No, I think you're seeing good composure by Peninsula. They don't look like they're panicked at all. They look like they're playing the ball up, and Highline's responding in like.
Well, that was the first time all season that Peninsula has given up more than 1 goal in a game.
Well, you can see why. I mean, they're a good team. They're solid. But you also see Highline right now, they're feeling it. They're playing on their front foot.
Absolutely, and here they come again as they try and center the ball. Kicked up in the air. What a spot. Goalie goes up for it right in the middle of two Highline players. Luckily wins that battle and is able to keep it out of the net.
No, that was well done by that keeper in that situation. She had to challenge that ball, and she did.
Now Peninsula's coming back the other way. Tasha and Nong looking to center that. Does get it centered. Peninsula unable to get a head on it. However, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. Coming up, goal kick for the T-Birds.
You see how quick Peninsula can strike. Highline's down on that end, put a dangerous ball in. Their keeper does a great job, gets the distribution, and Peninsula's right down in Highline's end, getting the ball going towards goal.
There's the kick, controlled by Highline.
So back into the match for the Thunderbirds was number 12, Kylie Inman-Wolf.
Ball goes out of bounds off of a Pirate. Can be another throw in for the T-Birds. 67th minute, time ticking away on this one. Winner of this match will face the Spokane Sasquatch tomorrow in the women's final. Game time set for 3 o'clock here at Starfire. Make your plans, come on out and join us. Be a great day of soccer tomorrow, the men's and women's championship matches. Peninsula turns it around, brings it back up the other way.
Good step by the center back there. Peninsula doing a good job getting forward. Highline looking to recover, but you see some of those 1v1 battles now, and Peninsula starting to win a couple of those.
My band with an nice pass to Ellie Small. Ellie turns, heads towards middle of the pitch, stops, reverses direction. Great defense by Highline. And that ball's going to go out of bounds, and that's coming up a corner kick for Peninsula. Some solid defense by Highline, but Peninsula's going to come away with the corner.
No, this is a great opportunity for Peninsula. You see number 5, Ellie Small, starting to kind of create some opportunities. You know, Lexi in the first half was doing that on that left side, and you see her waiting to come in again.
There's the corner from My Band. Great shot.
Yeah.
Somehow stays out of the net. Highline
well done by
way.
Highline's keeper to come out and punch that ball away.
Annalise Miller looking to make something happen the other way. Nobody home. Peninsula gets it, sends it back, but Highline turns around real quick, and there we go. In on goal. And there we're going to have some contact, and that's going to be a card.
Wow.
So we're going to have contact with the keeper again, and we're going to have a yellow card on Miranda Wolf.
Well, it looks to me like the referee missed that one. The keeper lowered the shoulder into the forward and put her on the ground. But, you know, you got a sensitive group here right now, and you definitely protect your keeper when you can. So I guess that's probably what that call was. But
so 69-minute yellow card.
Pretty good job by the keeper to kind of pull that card and put a lick on Highline's forward at the same time.
Opportunity for Peninsula. Ellie Small. 2 Highline defenders. They get a foot on it, try to clear it out. Shanks it. Peninsula still with the ball. Kendall Howell gets it in, tries to get it down low. Hokua Fong centers it, goes right to Highline. Looks to turn, can't get it out right away. Now they do. Peninsula has the ball. Kennedy Whitehead sends it out to the right flank. And Peninsula puts it out of bounds. Throw in for Highline.
Yeah, Peninsula does a good job of using that little burst of energy they got from their goalkeeper play and almost turned it into a goal. Keeper came out, did a good initial job saving the ball, but wasn't able to hold on to it. And Peninsula there to pounce on it. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't get a shot to frame. So Highline does a good job of scrapping and finding a way to get a hold of that ball defensively.
So there's your substitutions coming in the 70th minute. There's a throw in.
Yeah, this is a big sub for Peninsula. That number 17, Lexi, was incredibly dangerous the first half, and I think they're going to need her to get dangerous in the second half in order to maybe find a way back in.
Peninsula tries to get it in. Highline takes possession, turns, passes just a little bit too fast. Kennedy Whitehead, center of the pitch to My Band. My Band turns. Two defenders on her right away.
She's a good player. Look at her just kind of manipulate and help them move the ball up the field. Well done on her part.
Nicole Cruz for Highline looks to center it. Taken back by My Band.
Even if she gets that ball through, Highline's forward was offside, so Peninsula does a good job there to condense the defense.
Here comes Kennedy Whitehead. Tries to center it, blocked out by Highline. Great job keeping it in by Annalise Miller.
Looks like Peninsula's starting to gain a little bit of traction in this game. They're starting to gain a little bit of confidence, and if they can get a goal here, they're going to be awfully dangerous to finish out the game because you're going to continue to see that confidence grow.
Looking for Ellie Small there, just a little bit fast.
Yeah, she's about 3 steps away from making this a 2-1 game, wasn't she? I think Highline's trying to take a little bit of the air out of this game right now. They're hoping to stem this attack right now. Peninsula seems to have a lot of momentum and a lot of energy going forward.
T-Bird is looking to slow it down a bit. There comes the throw in from Maya Gray. That's going to go off. Paige Serber out of bounds. Kendall Howell tosses it in for Peninsula. Annalise Miller turns, tied up by Peninsula Pirates. Struggle for the ball. Players from both teams hitting the deck. And here come the Pirates looking to put a little pressure on. We're going to have a player down for Highline.
Yeah, that's Annalisa Miller. She's been very tough all game long, and they're going to want to have her back if they can. So hopefully she's okay and she's able to get up and walk off this field. But she's put in an incredible effort up to this point.
Looks like she's breathing a little heavy there. Trainers are coming out to take a look. That's one thing I like about the officiating in the NWAC. When a player goes down, they don't hesitate to get the trainer out there. They're not going to mess around. They're going to make sure the players are okay.
Yeah, no, she looks like she's feeling whatever happened there. It was a pretty physical play by both teams, and they're getting in the mix, and it looks like she just got a little tangled up. So hopefully we see her get up and walk off this field and get ready to rejoin action as soon as she's able.
Fans, once again, make your plans to join us tomorrow. Doesn't matter where you are. It's not that far to get to Tukwila, Washington. Come on out. Join us tomorrow. The championship, the women Spokane versus the winner of this match. The men's championship yet to be decided. 2 fantastic matches coming up yet today. So keep it tuned right here, nwacsports.org. You're home to check out the 2015 NWAC Final Four for the men and the women. Great soccer without that pay-per-view.
Well, the best part about this game is you just see people out there that just absolutely love to play the game, and you got 2 teams out there that are just giving everything they got to it. So you want to see that, and you want to hopefully see everybody leave this game healthy with an opportunity to play tomorrow as well.
We're seeing the Peninsula men's team on the rail on the front row. Highline player down. Obviously, they're showing some concern for the player. No matter what team you're on, you don't like to see a player get injured. And they're definitely taking their time attending to this T-Bird. She's up now, heading towards the sideline with some assistance. Certainly favoring that right leg.
Yeah, that's a tough blow. Fortunately for Highline, they've got a lot of depth. So, you're going to have to see somebody step on the field and provide that spark and that presence up front that, Annalisa has provided for really a good portion of this game.
And she's putting no pressure on that leg at all. It's one of the nice things about the Starfire complex. They have the medical facilities right here. Obviously, I don't know if they're open now, but if someone hasn't been to Starfire, let them know what this facility means to soccer in the Northwest.
Yeah, no, it's soccer players in the Northwest have all sorts of advantages and opportunities and facilities that we dreamed about years ago. So Starfire is definitely one of those opportunities, one of those facilities.
Ball back in play, 75th minute. Highline now looking to make something happen on their end of the field. Another contact play. Ball picked up by Peninsula. Another contact play, just shoved off the ball. And there we're going to have a foul on Highline. Quick free kick, and now we're seeing some more contact.
You're seeing the game get physical. That's what happens. You got to be able to withstand this play. You're seeing it from both sides. I mean, it's two teams out fighting for a win, but you're definitely seeing a physical game at this point.
Peninsula dropping back on defense. Here comes Highline, 3-on-3, running right towards the center of the field.
That was a great ball.
Right through to Madison Gale, but now we're going to have an offsides call.
Is that our first offsides of the day?
It is. And it comes on the team that's up by 2 goals with 15 minutes to go. And here comes Peninsula the other way. Blocked by Highline, looking to clear it. Ball bouncing around, finally controlled by the T-Birds. Nicole Cruz gets past the first defender, the second defender, chips the ball up.
Yeah, nice little job of Nicole to get out of that situation. But unfortunately, really just gives the ball back to Peninsula and allows them to come back on the attack. Now you got my ban on the ball. Just a solid player.
Looks like they're going to whistle a foul on that quick contact.
Yeah, the hard part about this game, I think, for both teams right now is it's becoming difficult to know exactly what's going to be called. It's we're letting the physical play go. I mean, right there's a pretty tough challenge, but it seems like he calls half of them and he doesn't call the other half of them.
And that's one thing the players need is consistency. Otherwise, they get.
It's just tough. It's just tough to know what you can do, and you also got to know how you have to protect yourself out there a little bit. He's not doing a bad job. Just maybe a little more consistency would make it a little easier.
And here's Highline. Heading the other way. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and we're going to have a goal kick coming up for Peninsula. Here's a goal kick, and that's going to go right out of bounds. Possession heading back to the T-Birds. Maya Gray looking for the throw-in. There's the toss. Controlled by Olivia Moore, fighting Paige Serber for it.
Ball's out of bounds.
Once again, another throw-in for the T-Birds as they move their way up the field with throw-ins. Well, back and forth action. See who comes up with it now. Now the ball's going to go back over to Peninsula.
There seems to be a little bit of a lull in the action right now, and I think Highline's going to be the team that enjoys that or likes that. I think Peninsula's looked their best when the game's been played at a high kind of frantic pace, and I think you're going to try to see them maybe elevate this game up a little bit.
Back in the match for Peninsula, number 7, Hoku Hong.
And here comes the throw-in. Well, almost a throw-in. Now it's Maya Gray with a throw-in for the T-Birds.
Oh, ball gets away. This is a chance for Highline. Oh, Peninsula does a good job to swallow it up,
Bianca
though.
Andrade Torres able to intercept that ball, and she just heads straight up the field, keeping it herself. Finally gets the pass over.
Yeah, here's that Lexi. I think they're going to want to get her started because she's been dangerous all game.
Tasha Anong on the corner. Centers it for Lexi.
Good job by Highline to get on the end of that.
Because they did not want to see Lexi Krieger open with the ball in that location.
Nope.
Shot by Hokua Fong. And that's going to be Ivy Swains coming up with a stop.
Oh, great little idea. I mean, she takes it on her left foot and just hits a little hard worm burner to the far post. And keeper does a good job not only to get a hold of it, but to squeeze that ball because that ball had a little bit more sneaky pace to it than maybe it looked.
Ball is going to be played by Malia Henderson for Peninsula. Hold on to it and just kick it right down the center of the field. It's going to come down. Get played back and played out of bounds, and we're going to have a Peninsula throw-in. Kendall Howell. Tosses it in, gets past the first group of players. Nicole Cruz gets a foot on it, just sends it upfield for Highline.
Well, this clock is beginning to become Highline's friend and the enemy of Peninsula. You know, I said they had time early, and now they've got to start showing a little bit more urgency. Again, one goal changes this game completely. So you aren't trying to win the match right now. You're just trying to find a way to get to the net and chip one in.
Almost a good opportunity for Highline. Well defended by Peninsula. As they watch the ball go out of bounds, but they're going to maintain possession. Pirates with a throw-in coming up. Yeah, one goal means a great deal for Peninsula. However, one goal the other way has the exact opposite meaning for the Pirates.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you know, this is that touchy situation right now. If you're Peninsula, you're feeling a little bit of desperation, and you're feeling like you need to get that goal, but you don't want to give up one on the back end because that'll effectively end the game for you. So, you know, but they've been solid. I think if you watch Peninsula's defense, they've actually done a really good job of really keeping everything in front of them and giving their midfield and forwards chances to get forward.
So there we have some contact. They're going to whistle a foul on Nicole Cruz, defending my band. We're going to have a free kick coming up for the Pirates. 81st minute. As we see the men's players begin to head towards the other end of the field, get warmed up for their match.
Ooh, ball sneaks through. Wow, Highline was a little lucky there. They had Ellie Small open on that outside. If Peninsula could have found a way to get a touch over to her, she has a free lane to goal.
My bad turns, gets the ball to Bianca Andrade.
Just a little heavy. Good.
And here comes Highline the other way. A little bit too fast. Had two players on either side of the keeper, but it goes right to the keeper. Gets the ball out quick. My band with a lot of room on the left side. Finally gets some defense on her, and there's a foul.
Yeah, that was a little too easy by Peninsula to get through there. Highline's got to do a better job of not allowing them to dribble penetrate. Definitely a foul. I mean, not a hard foul by Highline.
And now we're going to see the ref bring out the yellow card here in the 83rd minute and issue that to Shantae Warrens.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wasn't maybe influenced a little bit by the crowd there, but either way, maybe a tactical foul, maybe. Not a hard foul, but a great opportunity for Peninsula.
So here comes Lexi Krieger with the free kick. Puts it right in the middle of the box. Highline comes up on the defense, clears the ball out, puts it out of bounds.
That was actually a good ball by Lexi. She got it in there. Unfortunately for her, just went right to a Highline player, was able to get a hold of it. But those are extremely dangerous. Maybe a little more air under that ball makes it a little bit more difficult for Highline to get clear on. Well done to fight through by the Highline player there.
Peninsula brings it back, looks to set it up. Instead just dumps it in. Maya Gray gets a foot on it, tries to clear it out. My band, however, with the shot and puts it in right off her left foot. And just like that, it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, no, they're dangerous, no doubt about it. I mean, that My Band, she's been special all game, and that ball laid up on her foot, and she made no mistake with that strike. It was paced, and it had curve to it, and the keeper really didn't have a chance on that ball. So, wonderful strike, and 6 minutes left. One of those games, it's really kind of anybody's game. Highline has a 1-goal lead, but Peninsula's carrying a lot of momentum.
Great strike, kept it low, tough on the keeper, and that 1-goal differential now. Now we're going to see momentum shift to Peninsula. They certainly have the crowd behind them.
Well, you see him dump the ball up here.
There you see the Peninsula men's team cheering on the women counterparts. 85th minute, Peninsula with the throw-in. I think we're in for a great game here these last final minutes.
No, for sure. I mean, you like to see that. Peninsula's men here supporting their team, and a lot of school pride, a lot of family pride over there. So definitely a lot of energy they're helping infuse into this match.
And here comes Peninsula with the throw-in. Controlled by Highline, tries to clear it. Able to squeak it through somehow, but controlled by the Pirates. Dumped into the center of the field. Maya Gray there to scoop it up for Highline, send it back out towards midfield.
Oh, Nicole's on this. She's in.
And she is in all by herself. Nicole Cruz looking to make something happen. Keeper comes out. Nice job challenging her. Nicole Cruz down behind the play, however, holding her knee. Looking for that whistle. There we go. Now we're going to get the stoppage of the play. Peninsula's keeper coming over to make sure she's all right. And let's get the trainers out on that one.
Yeah, no, they did a good job of getting in, and the defender did a good job of getting back, but that keeper did a great job of coming out and making a huge save. Malia, huge save late in the game, and you need that. You know, in order to win a big game, your keeper has to make a big save. You saw one by Highline down earlier, and now you just saw one by Malia, and you know, those are the kind of balls that I guarantee you Nicole wishes that she probably had back.
So great news for the T-Bird. She's back up. No need for the trainer. She's heading back up to the middle of the pitch. And here we go. We got a throw in for Peninsula. Put right back out of bounds, and we're going to do another throw in. Great to see her back up and running now.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't want to see a player go out injured at this point. You want them to finish strong on the field.
So again, we're going to have the ball throw in, go out of bounds off of a T-Bird player. And that's going to move Kendall Howell closer to the T-Bird goal. And again, we're going to have a go out of bounds off a T-Bird player.
Well, you see the referee now. You got a player up there just throwing her body into players. And again, with the inconsistency, the referee is choosing not to call some and choosing to call others. So it's very difficult as a player to kind of gather what is to be called here and what isn't to be called here.
Lexi Krieger tried to put a shot on goal, wasn't able to get a lot of mustard on that one, so an easy save for the T-Bird goalie. My band with the ball heading up towards the center of the pitch.
It's a great ball.
Hokua Fong trying to control it. Here we go, my band.
This is going to sit up well right here. Highline's going to have a chance to get to this ball. Oh, but Malia does a good job getting out and grabbing the ball.
And wastes no time of getting it back in play. Olivia Moore able to maintain possession. Peninsula comes up that right side. It's on their sideline. Heads upfield. A couple players heading towards the center.
That's that Alexia again getting in. She's a special player. She definitely makes things happen. Her and that Mabon, they're definitely good players.
So we're seeing urgency on the part of Peninsula We're also seeing urgency on the part of Highline's defense. Both these teams are stepping it up.
No, for sure. A lot of urgency from Peninsula right now, and they're doing a great job again forward. Highline, to me, looks like they're just kind of holding on a little bit here, but
opportunity for the Pirates there, goes wide of the net. And now we're going to see a substitution for the T-Birds.
So it looks like we have 5 minutes of extra time, so that would give us about 6.5 minutes left in this match.
That's plenty of time for one goal.
No, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. I know Highline would like to see less, and I know Peninsula likes to see more, but 5 minutes is a lot of extra time. And that's just a starting point.
So a fight for the ball goes out of bounds on the far side. It's going to be a throw-in coming up for Highline. Taking their time, heading over to the sideline. Peninsula says, here's the ball, hurry up. And the throw-in goes out of bounds, and now it's going to be Peninsula's ball. A little back and forth. Ball goes to the T-Birds. So, minutes away from seeing who's going to take on the Spokane Sasquatch tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the women's Final Four final, the championship match. Again, the ball goes out of bounds. They're just trading throw-ins at this point.
Yeah, I think Highline will be okay with trading throw-ins, but I think Peninsula's ready to get this ball going the other direction.
And they get it up the sideline. Highline shielding a little bit. Peninsula finally gets a foot on it. Centers it right to the keeper.
It's important to win these challenges right here.
Maya Gray tries to head up field, but she's stopped by Hoku Afong. Hoku Afong gets it back. But Shantae Warrens is there for Highline. Hoku Afong, Maya Gray again. Stopped by Peninsula. Picked up by Madison Gale. She heads up the right side.
Oh, good job by Peninsula to win that ball. And I want to see a better touch there, but
there's Shantae Warrens. Tries to head it in. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go to Highline. Not a popular opinion, but that's the way it looked from up here as well. Struggle for the ball. Peninsula goes ahead and kicks it out of bounds. Be a throw in for Highline.
They're in no hurry.
As we are in stoppage time, second half. Highline holding on to that 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you just got a feeling the way this game's going, though. Peninsula's going to find a way to at least get to go one more time.
And there we're seeing some contact. Finally, Hoku Afong gets the ball ahead to Ellie Small. It's a race for it, and it goes out of the end line, and they're going to call a corner kick coming up for Peninsula. This might be that chance.
Yeah, Peninsula's been dangerous. They definitely earned this right. Highline's going to have to see this game through.
And there's the short corner. Ball's in play.
She's got to close that gap, and we know she can hit the ball. Peninsula with a couple players forward.
Good defense by Highline. They send it out towards the sideline. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in for Peninsula deep in Highline's third. They get it back in right away.
She does a good job to keep that ball in. Highline's lucky they stayed alert, but they're having a hard time getting the ball up the field.
Peninsula definitely putting the pressure on keeping it in. There's the kick from My Band, and that's going to go wide of the net. Out of bounds, goal kick coming up for Highline. There's the kick.
Peninsula does a good job of challenging that ball, and they're going to put it right back in the mix. Highline's got to do a better job challenging that ball up the field if they want to see this game through. Peninsula's playing with all sorts of heart and energy at this point.
And there it is. There's the final whistle. The final score, Highline Thunderbirds 2, Peninsula Pirates 1. So there's your matchup for tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be the T-Birds versus the Spokane Sasquatch. 3 o'clock for the women's championship. What a fantastic season for Peninsula. Always tough to see it end this way. Peninsula come into tonight's match with a 14-game winning streak. Best goal-scoring team in the NWAC this season. Stingy defense, 6 goals. They give up 2 today. And unfortunately for them, that's going to be enough for Highline to take the victory and advance to the finals.
2 extremely athletic teams out there. I thought the energy that you brought in when you entered the game, obviously with the goal, but also just with the pressure, really put Highline on their front foot and kind of gave them some opportunities to move forward.
Thank you. I don't know. Thank you.
Would you like to talk to that a little bit? You were doing great on there. Did you notice any difference when she stepped on the field?
Annie's definitely our enforcer out there, so I think that definitely helped us step up our momentum, and it was nice to see everyone get physical. That ref let us play a bit, so I think that played to Annie's advantage for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was a very physical game. I thought the referee let the game go a little bit, but for both directions. So I think it allowed both teams to kind of really give their all towards getting the result. Peninsula's had Highline's number for a couple years now. Did you know about that coming into the game? Had your coach talked to you about that at all coming into the game?
Yeah, we've had a rivalry with Peninsula for a while. Last year we lost once to them, tied once, so this was a big win.
Yeah, this was really important for us. Like, we know that a lot of people gear up to play us, but this one more so. We geared up to play them as well, and it was awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Respect to them. I mean, all they've done, they've had a great run, and they've had a number of great years, great players, well-coached team. But I'll tell you what, you guys had a lot of talent on the field as well. I was very impressed with your ability to be composed in key situations. When they got that goal and made it 2-1, what was going through your minds?
Well, I couldn't go in, so I was just like ready to throw up on the sideline, like, no, that's not okay, but it worked out, so.
I guess I was just thinking I had to sell out in every tackle and go through everything and stay focused. My main thing was to stay engaged in the game at that point.
Yeah, well done. I think that's absolutely right. It felt like there was probably about a 5-10 minute stretch there where there was a lot of pressure, and then it felt like you guys were able to kind of come out of it and kind of get your ground and whatnot. Are there any players, or is there somebody that really kind of helps calm everybody down out there? Is there somebody who really looks around and gets you guys relaxed at all?
I feel like our center backs do a pretty good job of settling us down and like grounding the field. Yeah. I don't know. Dulce is awesome. I think she does that really well too. So
I'm pretty vocal. I think everyone always hears me yelling, but my partner in the middle is Shantae, and Shantae is very calm, cool, collected. So I think she does a good job of drawing me back and calming me down. So.
Well, good. So tomorrow, you get a chance to hoist the big prize, the trophy, right? Now, back in the day, years ago, Highline hosted a couple of these, but it's been a long time since they did it. So when you came here at the beginning of the year, did you think you'd be here? Did you think you'd be here at the end of the year?
I think it was always a possibility. We made it pretty far last year, and I think we have a more cohesive team this year for sure. There's not as many huge egos as there was last year, and so we all kind of work together more, which has helped us get here for sure. So
I think we trust each other a lot more, and we did a lot of work in the season to help each other gain chemistry. So I think that was our the big difference in our offense today, was that we are working for each other.
Well, so I had the opportunity to watch you guys play in the preseason over at the friendlies, and I was very impressed with the way you guys played. I thought you had a nice calmness about you. I thought you guys kept the ball very well. I watched you play a little bit later in the season, and I didn't see that same kind of togetherness, and I didn't see that same kind of cohesion that I witnessed in this last game. What was the difference? What sparked it? What got you from where you guys were a really good team, probably underachieving, to where I thought you were a really good team who can match up with anybody?
Well, specifically for this game, we've been pumping up for it like all week, like inspirational speeches at every practice, like getting ready for it. But like overall over the season, I think we've had our ups and downs, but it's definitely ended more cohesive than we started, I think. So
I think towards the middle of the season you get comfortable, but I think our coaches and the competition we have with each other at training makes us be better soccer players, and today that we showed that we're better soccer players than we are in the middle of the season, the second trip through league. We just kept improving. We didn't have a lull after that point. Yeah.
Well, great. So I'm going to end it with this. One of my favorite things about tomorrow's finals for the women's side is two of my favorite coaches are in it. So Jim, who's a Spokane coach, is a longtime friend and has done a wonderful job over there. One of the really great guys in this league. And then Tommy, I just love to death. So I'm extremely excited for him as well. Tell me a little bit about him. He's a quirky dude.
Tom?
Maybe not as quirky as Chris, but they're both pretty quirky dudes. So give me a little insight into looking at them.
I'm going to think about this for a second.
Tom? No. No, the coaches are very lighthearted, but I think they try to make us very competitive, and they try to always let us know that each game has something behind it. So I think that their competitive nature just rubs off on us so much. But they are lately in practice. They have been pretty goofy. So they seem stern one another because they're the last coaches to yell, but they're pretty goofy and vocal.
Yeah, well, Tom's really, really sarcastic, so you'll know if you messed up, but that also just makes you want to work a lot harder. And then Chris, this is my favorite part. Whenever there's a foul that he thinks should have been a foul, he goes and then holds it there for a second, and then he brings it down, and I think it's so funny. It cracks me up every time.
So does Tommy ever get out there and play with you? Hey, I got to tell you, he used to play for me. Right? I coached him. He is pretty quick for a big guy. Let me tell you that right now. All right. Well, congratulations. That was a great game. It was fun to watch, and I'm excited to watch you in the finals tomorrow.